Hi, it's Tony again, and we're back on the bench. And this evening, we got a project reel that we're going to be getting into here. This is a Penn Long Beach Model 60 that I picked up in a box full of used reels recently. But this is really a workhorse of a reel. It's been around a really long time. Penn introduced this before 1941, I believe. So somewhere in the early 40s, there they introduced the Long Beach series. It's been around a really long time. Lots of different models: the 60, the 65, the 66, 67, and 68. And then there's also the 259 live baitcaster Long Beach model, as well as the Long Beach Deluxe, which is exceptionally rare. And then there's some more modern models as well that they made, but this really kind of set the tone for their fishing reels for a long time, this series. And so we're going to be doing basically a take apart on this reel. As you can see, it's very used. That the handle knob is missing here, things like that. I suspect the bearings are probably shot. I mean, it spins, it works, but it definitely needs a lot of attention. And I think in the process of taking it apart, I'm going to decide whether or not it's worth actually restoring and putting back together, like cleaning up all these chrome pieces and everything, or if all the innards and everything just kind of look like junk, then I'm probably just going to part it out and just use certain parts, for whatever I can use them for. So we're going to start with taking the handle off here, and we're going to see what kind of shape this is in. But I remember seeing these reels on party boats, and it's just a very, very popular model. It was a relatively inexpensive model, but you saw this everywhere, from your local Kmart stores to your Walmarts to all your sporting goods stores, whether they were commercial stores like Big Five or independent shops. I mean, everybody had the Long Beach 60 specifically. It was basically kind of an entry grade level reel, the Model 60, but it had the components and the innards that were just very, very solid, made in USA style reel, of course. And so it was just considered a workhorse, and it's considered a collectible now, if I recall correctly. So I'm having a hard time getting the bridge sleeve out here, but that's right there. Okay, so we're going to take our left side bushing off here, our non-handle side bushing, and this is probably very well shot, I'm suspecting, but we're gonna see what the rest of everything on the inside, and see what this really looks like. If nothing else, I can save these screws and maybe some of the bridge components and the pinion and gear stuff, hopefully, but we'll see. If it's all rusted and corroded away, and if we got drag washers that are fused together and stuff, then that's just going to call for basically a parting out of all the different parts. So we'll see. But this is definitely a bottom fishing reel. Could also be used for trolling. Definitely not a good casting reel by any means. It's more of a narrow spool design, so you want to keep to just dropping the line down with your hook, line, and sinker pretty much. Or, like I said, you could do trolling with it. Could use it off of a pier, I suppose, as long as you weren't getting into any kind of casting. But yeah, these older models are actually getting harder and harder to come by these days. And in the early designs of this reel, they actually had seams on this tail plate here for all those models that I mentioned. And so, but this is definitely a more modern one. So, I mean, just looking on the inside here, I mean, this just hasn't really been cleaned up in a long time, and it's got a lot of excess dirt and grime in here, so it might actually clean up okay, You know, we'll see. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about all this rough that's going on here, and that's just from wear and tear, just, you know, using the reel basically. So but we'll see if we can break this ring apart here and see if we can't attempt to clean this up a little bit. So I like to just pry this open with a little screwdriver, you know, but we can just see there's all kinds of stuff in there. You know, but this ring, you know, it might actually clean up okay with a little bit of work. What I like to do sometimes is I'll just take some steel wool to a piece like this and just kind of do a little section here and see what the result is. And as you can see, it actually does clean up quite nicely. So that's a good thing to note, because all these chromed pieces are getting harder and harder to come by. So we're going to put that off to the side here. You know, the spool doesn't look too bad. It definitely has some corrosion damage. You know, so I think it's just a lot of cleaning that's involved there. And now we're seeing our innards here, and it's very, very dry. And there's a couple of things here that I'm seeing that are not quite right, like this eccentric spring is not in the right place here. It should be in this groove here. It might be a little difficult to see on camera, but it should be right where the edge of the screwdriver is, right there. But we're just going to continue on. We're going to take all these frame posts off here. But yeah, if I can clean this reel up, I would like to, and maybe give it a new handle. I do have some of those handles. My biggest concern at this point are probably the bushings, because those, I would say, definitely have to be changed out on both sides. And so if I wind up having to do a parts order for this reel, then that's something that I'll have to think about, because I did not really pay a lot of money for this reel in particular. I paid $50 for a whole box of reels, between this reel and a squitter and a 320 GTI and a Mitchell 300 and a bunch of other like banged up parts reels, and then a couple of tackle boxes with a bunch of tackle in them. And so and I can already tell here I'm taking out shorter screws in these frame posts when they should have these longer ones. And this is one little thing to note right here. This screw does not belong here. You see how it sticks out and how this one is nice and flush. This one here should be like that one. So that was somebody, you know, taking the reel apart and not putting the screws back in the right place, which is a pretty common problem. Something you don't want to do though, because that's how you can get your line tangled up on the edge of those screws. So if you're working on one of these classic vintage Penn reels, I recommend that you take a look at that and see what screws have been put where, especially if you're working on ones that you don't have the history for. So we got our stand mount, and once again it's corroded and pitted, but you know, we might be able to do a little bit of cleaning on these pieces, perhaps, and get a little bit of restore happening hopefully here. So we'll see in time. I'm going to try to get this ring off now. The good thing about the Penn 60 is just solid construction, solid components, and it's very, very basic. And so it's a very easy reel to work on and maintain. And that's really the beauty of it. You know, so once again, you know, we're looking at this ring here. There's definitely a lot of pitting and corrosion on here. These things aren't going to affect the functionality of the reel though, however, so that's the good news. So we're just going to take our bridge screws out here. We're going to see what this looks like. So first thing to note, somebody put the fully threaded screw in the top hole here. That does not actually go there. The fully threaded one's supposed to go on the bottom. That's a common mistake too. And the reason why you don't want to do the fully threaded screws on top is because that's where your pinion yoke springs are. And you don't want those threads getting caught on the springs. That is what the partially threaded screws are for, which are these that happen to actually be in the bottom, but these belong up here in the top holes. So just for your information, that's one thing to change there. But I'm not really seeing a lot of signs of rust damage in here, so that's always a good thing. So we got our innards here, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make some space for some of these pieces and parts here. Just going to kind of set these off to the side here so I can actually get these pieces in place. So we got our dog. We got a dog spring, and you got to be careful because that spring has a tendency to go flying out, but a little tiny little spring right here. Can't get the camera to really zoom in on it. There we go. But it's very, very small. And then we got our main gear assembly here and our pinion gear. And yeah, I mean, everything is just super, super dry in here. So whoever had this reel for however many years, I mean, they just didn't do anything with this reel. You know, they just left it dry pretty much, which is exactly what you don't want to do. So let's have a look here at some of our pieces and parts here. So we got a main gear with our drag stack, and we want to inspect that drag stack, of course, and see what that's about. Let's see if we can get this off here. Sometimes these main gears are stubborn coming off, as this one very much so is. So sometimes you just kind of have to work at it. We'll see if we can actually get the washers off. Sometimes it's the washers that are holding up the process, which would seem to be the case here. So there we go. So yeah, it looks like we got old leather drag washers in here, which doesn't really surprise me. There we go. Okay. But, you know, if they're in okay shape, which it looks like they might be potentially, then, you know, they can actually be reused. You know, so we got, you know, our metal washers and our leather washers, and then there's a fiber washer under here that's intact. And I mean, the bridge looks okay. It probably needs some cleaning under there. And what we can do is, if we can get our fiber washer off without actually breaking it. When these get old, they get very brittle and difficult to maneuver off the sleeve. So we're going to try to do it real gently, but it could be a little difficult to do without breaking it. So we'll try to be careful. But normally what I like to do when I'm working on these kinds of reels is I like to kind of stock up on these washers, because you never really know when they're going to break on you. And when you're dealing with old components like this, you know, that's just something to look out for. So we're going to try to take our shaft off, and there's this little tiny hole that houses this pin, keeps our bridge shaft in place there. It's right there, and we're going to see what we can do to get that out. Sometimes I have to resort to going to a vise to get these out and use a hammer, which I think I'm going to do in this case. Just if you have a vise nearby or access to one, you can just put it in there, and so it'll hold still at least. And then your pin should pop out like that, basically. And you should be able to take a pair of needle nose and pull that out. But this is really important whenever you're taking apart a reel, actually, because especially one that's in this shape, because I mean, this is just as dry as a bone, and so there's definitely going to be some cleaning work involved there, and some re-lubing, of course, and things like that. So there you have it. That is the Penn Long Beach Model 60, pretty much all taken apart, with the exception of this bearing here, handle side bearing. And that's That's probably in pretty bad shape, I'd say, just by looking at it. And then we got our Eccentric here, and I mean this spring here has definitely been compromised. This doesn't even look like it's perhaps the right spring. And so what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to take that apart as well. If it looked like it was okay, I would leave it, but it doesn't look okay. So I'm just going to take that out completely, and we're going to try to do something with that. Either replace that spring, or like I said, this might just become a parts reel. But yeah, you can just see how bent up this is, and it's not actually supposed to be like that at all. So that's just one little thing to note. So yeah, I'm basically gonna take some time to go through all these parts. I mean, the main gear looks okay. There's some signs of some rust here, but it's not terrible. Things like that. The washers don't look too bad. You know, there's some things here that are usable. There's some things that should really be replaced. Like I said, the bearings and you know, certain, you know, other components like that spring, for instance. So, but that's the basic disassembly of this make and model. So I'm basically going to perhaps clean up some of these chrome pieces and see what's salvageable, and determine whether or not it's worth actually putting it all back together or separating all the pieces out and using them on other projects. So thanks again for watching. This is Tony with Back on the Bench. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more, please subscribe. We'll see you next time.